The season is winding down, and that only means one thing. It's time for the playoff push with Chris Miller and Dan Brady. Now, here's Chris Miller.
And welcome back to another exciting edition. We haven't been around in a while to talk some hockey.
Since the beginning of the season.
Since the beginning of the season, we gave you our preview extravaganza, and now we're here again during our live show to give you a little preview of the playoffs and the potential teams that are in the playoffs. Now, we don't have a lot of time to go through the whole NHL, so we're going to stick to the Eastern Conference. But first, we're going to go ahead and talk about the regional team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have just been remarkable since the trading deadline and the coaching change and the firing of Michel Therrien. Things have turned around in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
They were a little worried there during the hardcore winter months during the season, but they've turned it around.
Yep.
Things have changed. And Dan Bylsma, I don't know, rookie coach, but he seems to have instilled a different attitude in that locker room.
Yeah, Chris, 10-1-3 under the new Bylsma era. They're 8-0-2 in their last 10. 9 out of the last 14 games with 4+ goals. They now have 222 goals, which ranks them third Eastern Conference behind Boston and Washington. They're playing much better defensively. The defensemen are pinching up and making plays in the offensive zone. Just a whole new attitude out of this team, and you see the results. A new coach comes in, instills a new attitude, and here they are. They're on a hot streak. They're the hottest team in the league right now.
Took a look at that graphic there. 7-1-1 against playoff caliber teams.
That's huge.
Bylsma is getting the job done right now. It doesn't matter if he's inexperienced at the NHL level. If you look at that stat, he is getting the job done against the top caliber teams in the NHL.
Absolutely.
And getting wins against teams that he should be winning against.
Absolutely. And the players are enjoying playing for Bylsma right now. I don't think they were too happy under Therrien. They like his new scheme. They like the aggressive style of play. I mean, they're young kids. They love playing an upbeat tempo game, and that's what they're doing right now. And the success is just really coming through right now.
It's been an unbelievable run, and hopefully it continues through the end of the season and into the playoffs. But as you know, teams do have their ups and downs, and some teams in the Eastern Conference are struggling while others are rising to the occasion, such as the New Jersey Devils. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now. As you see, Boston at the top, but 4-5-1 the last 10. A little struggle going on right now for that team. But New Jersey, 8-2.
Yeah.
They have been rising and rising and rising ever since Brodeur came back. Dan, talk about some of these teams that are going down the stretch. Who do you expect to be there and who not to be there?
Well, I think Boston's going to hold out. I mean, they have a 6-point lead right now with just about 11 games left. If they go 500, they should maintain the number one spot. But, I mean, if you're asking me who the best team in the Eastern Conference is, it is the New Jersey Devils right now. With the amount of scoring that they have and with Brodeur playing the way he is, their defense is always going to be what it is. They're always going to have the great trap and the way Zach Parise plays. They are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. But, I mean, there's nobody right now that's hotter than the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's right. And don't discount Boston, even 4-5-1. I mean, they're just controlling the Eastern Conference all season long. I don't see them faltering this too much more down the stretch.
Everybody, like you said, everybody goes
team.
through it. Everybody, you got to pick your times when you go through. And luckily, the Penguins did it a couple months ago. Now they might go into the playoffs as the hot team, whereas Boston might be falling back as they go into the playoffs.
And peaking at the right time.
Right, exactly.
It's always the right way to go into the playoffs. All right, let's take a look. And we can go back to the beginning of the season. We did our extravaganza.
Right.
We made some projections. And let's just show it real quick, our projections. And I did correctly pick Boston at 1. I think it's going to hold out.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, New Jersey's in at 2. I had them at 4. You didn't even have them on there.
I didn't have them in the top 5.
It's just a big surprise.
Yep.
But the Penguins, who knows how high are they going to climb? Let's get into this projection. Let's roll our NHL playoff projection graphic here, and I want you to tell me, Dan, your top 8 that are going to get into the playoffs.
Okay, here's my top 8. Number 1 is going to be the Boston Bruins. They're going to hold off New Jersey. Number 2, I have the New Jersey Devils. Number 3, I have the Washington Capitals. At number 4, I got the Penguins jumping Philadelphia. I understand they have 3 games in hand right now, the Flyers do, but I like Philadelphia. I like the Penguins to jump over Philadelphia. I have Philadelphia at 5, Montreal at 6, the Rangers at 7, and I like the Florida Panthers sliding in maybe the last couple of days of the regular season. I like the Panthers to slide in, and sorry, Carolina, for the second year in a row, you're going to get bounced out in the last week of the regular season.
You look ticked off in that graphic. You know that.
I'm sorry. I'm serious about
hockey.
hockey.
Who's making these? I made that picture of my goofy self anyway. But let's roll through this real quick. I have Boston at 1, New Jersey 2, Washington 3. It's been that way for a while now. Philly will hold at number 4, Dan. I don't care what you think there. Montreal at 5, and Pittsburgh is going to drop to 6. Understand that they've played more games than any AHL team, And I just don't think they're going to carry the load for the rest of the year going unbeaten as they have been. Carolina will get into the playoffs, and Florida rounds out at number 8.
No Rangers.
And no New York
Rangers.
Rangers. They have a ridiculous schedule, and I don't think they're going to handle it.
They better make the playoffs making those trades at the deadline. They better make the playoffs in New York.
I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, New York Ranger fans, but I'm out, and we're out. This is it. Hope you'd enjoyed our playoff preview extravaganza.
See you in 3 weeks.
We will see you in 3 weeks. And the playoffs start up in just about a month.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to watch these final dozen games for these teams to make the push. But we'll be back after these commercials. Thank you for watching.